Hi guys, Techno Tenore here. I just wanted to wish you guys a happy new year and also update you about what's going on with this channel and my content going forward. And sort of a call to action for myself in terms of how I'm making my content and what the message is I want to get across with my content. To start off, 2025 was definitely a year. I'll say that much. Obviously, if you look at my video history, I stopped uploading around June. My last video was the Switch 2 unboxing video, which was kind of an impromptu thing even. Like, I was up in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. I was in the middle of a program in New York City for my opera career, making connections and stuff like that. And I decided to, when I got back home, to go to the GameStop and stay up till like 4 a.m. to get the Switch 2 and make a video. So there's that. But the big reason I stopped uploading was the genuine loss of morale to make videos around tech. And a lot of that is certainly due to me having bad habits when I'd rather do something else than make a video. I would procrastinate. I would do, literally anything else because I had to do it and I wasn't exactly, making bank off of YouTube videos, so obviously that took priority. But the bigger reason is the loss of morale when it came to making content about tech and gaming and the tech industry, because it's something I'm very passionate about, but you start to lose passion after a while when it's back-to-back bad news. And I'll say that, starting a tech YouTube channel in 2025 was probably the worst time to do it because of everything that's going on in the industry right now, that it's undergoing rapid change, and a lot of it for the worse, between AI data centers that are, taking valuable computing resources like GPUs and RAM to run the data centers, or it's the spread of, like stolen art assets for AI videos and pictures, and just the overall, lack of regulation when it comes to this new technology, and how it is causing far more havoc than it is, anything genuinely innovative and life-changing. While I don't agree that all AI is bad, it's just the fact that it is so unregulated. It is so all over the place, and they seem to want to go full speed ahead without realizing the implications of the types of things they're using AI with. And there are also a whole lot of other things like the tariffs where, I did want to, buy products to review, because obviously I don't really have any connections where I can get products for free. So I really wanted to, review products I was either interested in or were, inexpensive enough that I was speculative, like skeptical about. And obviously I couldn't do that because I had to tighten my wallet because of the tariffs. Not even just making tech more expensive, but everything else more expensive. Like, the only thing that's really gone down in price is gas, but it's still not helping much with everything else being so expensive, especially when I want to, start a tech side hustle, if you will. And that's the big reason I stopped uploading, was just the constant bad news, the sort of constant, erosion of consumer technology. Because let's face it, like, CES is going on right now, and I consider it the corporate electronics show, not the consumer electronics show now. And the personal computer is slowly fading away before our own eyes. But with 2026, I want to, establish a means of resistance in terms of, taking our tech back, like really cherishing it and owning it, and finding ways to not allow this to keep going further, whether we vote with our wallets, whether we, help legislation or anything like that. But, the thing that I can do here right now is to continue to make videos, even if it's bad news, even if it's good news, and even if it's something that I want to try for the sake of, establishing a better relationship with technology. Because even besides AI, we have social media that is sapping all of our time away when we doom scroll for sometimes hours on end. I have a doom scrolling problem, and I'm sure probably some of you out there do too. Or even with the, ever increasing prices of streaming services and the massive conglomeration of media companies constantly merging and unmerging and creating monopolies. It's a very dark, bleak time to be, to be immersed in technology right now, because of the fact that, you're starting to lose ownership of your tech. You're starting to have to pay more for things that were initially less, despite them not putting as much manpower and work into it. And it's just bleak. But for this year, I want to start making news videos again. One, I'm going to talk about different, things that are going on. I want to cover a bit of CES and things that I found at least interesting that weren't AI slop bullshit. But also, I'm going to start making more longer form videos, like not just like 10 to 20 minute news videos. Like I want to make, things like whether it's video essays or bigger reviews or how-tos or, reviewing an experience, like whether I plan to dumb down my phone this year and make it less of a doom scrolling machine, or, reviewing products that are meant to kind of take you out of the screen a little more, or finding alternative ways to make sure you keep owning your technology or able to get new technology at a reasonable price without having to submit to this machine that is being built by corporations to take ownership and autonomy away from us when it comes to our tech products. So that's the general gist of what I want to do in the new year. And I have specific projects I want to work on right away, especially. I have a video essay idea coming up. And I also have some, I have some like little tech projects that I'm going to do. I'm planning on building a computer with some of my old parts. And I also plan on doing some like retro tech restoration. Like I've gotten really into like retro system modding, like Game Boys and all that other stuff. So I'm planning on doing that as well. And those will be on live stream too. I am doing live streams again too when I can, especially when it comes to, tech. I want to do more of those overhead videos on my desk where I'm working with stuff. I know I did the Lego stream to test last year, how something like that would work. And I think it worked out really well. I enjoyed doing that. So I'll be working on that and sort of, putting it into video content. So you'll have a mix of, regular videos that are just news to longer form videos that are more informative, and live streams where I'll be not only just playing games, but like working on projects, like communicating with the chat. Because I think it's more important than ever that I as well as other people in this industry really voice our concern and also, provide some level of a way forward when it comes to this rapidly evolving industry that in some ways is growing for the worse, because we're in a fight for it, because a lot of it doesn't look good. We're losing ownership. We're losing consumer protections, and everything's going to cost more. So even when we do want something, it's going to be a constant nickel and diming of every little thing, whether it's a subscription service to even just like a computer to work on stuff. Eventually we're going to have that future, if we don't actively resist it, where everything is a subscription service, including your PC. It is no longer personal, and you have to pay a certain amount of money a month to have access to a computer with certain components. And On top of all that, because of the fact that it's in a data center somewhere, anybody who's anybody in that industry can monitor what you're doing. And some of that's for the good, but some of it is, the majority of it is for the bad, of just not having privacy or ownership or general, grasp on these resources, because computer parts, silicon, all this stuff is very valuable. And it's important that we preserve some level of consumer ownership and, consumer rights going forward. We can't leave it all to these companies to decide it all for us. Because sure, they make the stuff, but we buy the stuff. And they're creating this huge bubble where apparently our money isn't good enough for them anymore. And we should be doing something to actively resist that, because they can't just abandon us like that. And that's the future I don't want to be in. And I don't think anybody who's either into tech, a gamer, a PC gamer, a content creator, influencer, or anybody who's anybody wants a future like that. Despite the advancement, at what cost is it for? So that's the direction going forward. I'm going to report the news no matter how much it sucks and be perfectly honest about it. I'm going to provide content that, allows people a path forward in certain ways, whether it's reviewing a more niche product or showing you how, I've, dumbed down my phone, or I bought this dumb phone to replace my flagship, or I am looking at used parts to build computers, or, preserving older technology and going back to classics. That's what I want to do. And I've always wanted to do it. It's just I've kind of needed the motivation to do so. So I hope you guys like this video, subscribe, comment, tell me what you're looking forward to this year in terms of tech, if anything. I know, how I just talked about the tech industry is pretty bleak, but there's probably got to be something you're looking forward to. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everybody.